everybody, this is Darren with Toy Box Talk, and today we got some Lego Speed Champions. Lego Speed Champions, this is a fantastic line that came out to us. If you guys are car gurus like myself, I am a connoisseur with cars, and they incorporated it with Legos. Super exciting. I've been doing Legos since Lego Tenichnic, loved them since I was a kid. So stick around and we're going to do a little Lego history and build one of these nice Lego Speed Champion Camaros today. See you soon. Alright, we're here. Alright guys, so as promised I told you I'd do a little history about Legos. So we'll start off with that. Back in 1932 in Bellen, Denmark, there was a gentleman by the name of Ole Kirk Christensen. He was a basic carpenter, but a good carpenter. But he was losing his workshop, unfortunately, and it was closing down. And on top of it all, he ended up losing his wife. So with everything at his odds and ends, he still pushed on through. Being a father of 4 boys, he decided, you know what? I'm going to take my ideas and intertwine them differently, and decided, you know, I'm going to put them towards toys. And he did. Wooden toys. But the sales were slow at first, to the point that one of his sons of the 4, his name was Godfrey, decided, you know, Dad, I'm going to help you try to pick this up and run it. So he did, and him and his son Godfrey decided we're going to start pushing these toys a little bit more. So the help that he got from his son really helped, because the name and the quality of their toys actually started to push and catch a buzz all around town and even a little bit further than where they lived. To the point that one day a wholesaler actually came in and he was going through all the toys on the shelves, and he really enjoyed what he was seeing. So he asked, you know, I'd like to buy a huge order of this. So he put in a huge order, being impressed with the quality and the craft of, you know, Ole's work. Finally, Ole had the break he was looking for. So he was in a position again to hire. So who did he hire? The saint he is? The people he ended up letting go when the carpentry industry failed on him. So he hired all the gentlemen back, and everybody went back to work, pushing everything as hard as they can, as much as they can, to get the order out before Christmas. However, with bad news being said, the wholesaler ended up filing for bankruptcy. And Ole did not know what he was going to do with this huge order that he had prepared for Christmas and nowhere to sell it. So he said, you know what? I'm going to sell it myself. His son said, what do you mean? He says, I'm going to hit the road and I'm going to sell this stuff myself. And he did. He hit the road and sold every last toy that he had. He may have not made the profitable margin he was looking for, but he did sell everything and enough to be able to feed his family for the season. Now, it was around 1934, I would say, he said, you know, we need to create a company name. A name that's short, memorable, easy to say, something that conveys playing well. Now in Danish, the meaning playing well is pronounced "Lego." In Latin, it also means it's well put together. However, Ole did not know that. It just kind of worked out that way. So he kept saying, my God, and ended up landing Lego. So now that Ole has finally come up with a company name, Lego, great name, went down into history with us and is still pumping out today. So there was a day where Ole's son came in, Godfrey, and says, Dad, I got a great idea. I saved the company a bunch of money. He says, what do you mean? He says, well, you know those toys that you wanted 3 coats of shellac on them? Well, I only saved that money by putting 2 coats of shellac on them, and I packaged them up. Thinking that his dad would be excited, Ole was infuriated. He said, no. Go find them, pull them out, unpackage them, put that 3rd coat back on them, package them back up, and ship them out. Now, his son was furious with it at the moment, but then he realized, because his father said, listen, we are a name of quality. We have nothing but attention to detail. That's who we are. So while his son was fumigated and putting everything back into order before he put it back out, he thought about these words, and they instilled in Godfrey. Only to teach Godfrey that quality is one of the biggest things when it comes to putting a product out that's in your name. So lo and behold, we got a great quality Lego brick. Okay, so now it's in the late 1930s, say 1938, 1939. Finally, Lego has got a profit margin and they're building something. I mean, they're even putting Legos out during the World War II, which we know everything kind of came to a halt during that. But for Lego, a toy, to still be pushing Legos out during that, had to say something for themselves. Now, it wasn't until 1942, during a wintry storm, there was a pole that came down and changed the whole chain of events for Legos. It actually lit the building on fire. The fire department showed up to put out the fire, and they fought it as best as they could, but they just couldn't save anything, with everything being wood and shellac and marble, so everything just burned to the ground. Now, this really got to Ole for it being the second time his business has been into jeopardy, losing his wife the first time, and having to start from scratch. But he had all the power from his employees and all the power from his children backing him up, and gave him the muster to only do it again. And not only did he do it again, he did it better this time, to the point that it made it possible for him to travel and to look around for more opportunities and more challenges to put into his toy company. And it wasn't until he landed at a convention out in Denmark, can't remember the town it was, but there was a machinery convention, and he came across a machine that pumped out these little plastic bricks. So he kept a couple of little plastic bricks for, little memory pieces. They were just samples that were being given out. Calls his son and says, "Listen, there's this machine here. I think it would be great for the company. What are we looking at for money?" His son says, "Dad, it's really tight. He says, that's all I need to know." And he bought the machine. Had the machine shipped, brought it back. They started firing it up. And the first thing they started producing was these little plastic bears. And they weren't selling as much as he thought they would. Ole kept those plastic bricks in his pocket at all times and pulled them out, and he said, these can do something. So he went back to the drawing board, reinvented the brick a little bit, and lo and behold, he created his first Lego brick. But there was a high anticipated toy that year. It was called the Great Ferguson Tractor. So with that toy being on the release of the shelves, Lego kind of sat behind it, the brick, and it really didn't get the name or the mustard that it should have because of this Ferguson Tractor of the release. However, that Christmas it was released, blah, 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 all the toys sold, but then toys stopped selling again. Summertime came, shelves started stacking back up, and the son of Godfrey says, Dad, this isn't good. We can't just sell toys only during Christmas time. We gotta sell toys year round. So I'm gonna hit the road, and I'm gonna see what we can do to make this happen. So Godfrey did. He hit the road, he started traveling, trying to get contacts and selling the Legos, toys, not the bricks, we're still talking about toys, you guys. It wasn't until 1954 in England, when Godfrey landed inside of a toy store. He was having a conversation with a toy store owner. And the toy store owner says, toys are dead, man. They're dead. He's like, what do you mean? I love toys. Toys are alive, man. Toys bring... He's like, no. I mean, more along the lines of, they have no system. And that stuck with Godfrey. Godfrey took the flight home. He ate dinner. He's home. He's thinking about it, brushing his teeth, just contemplating this one statement that toys have no system. So he goes and he sits down with Dad. And he says, Dad, I was talking with this toy guy, and the toy guy says that toys have no system. And he's right. And his father was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, all the toys that we release now, they already have ready-made solutions. We need to create a toy that creates imagination and creativity, and it's continual. Let's put system into play and create a toy that way. His father was blown away by this idea, and he says, you know what? Let's try it. And lo and behold, the first Lego Systems was created. I like to call it a Lego City because that's basically what it was. It was a system where you could build buildings and cities to the point that create a city and children were able to understand traffic safety precautions and things like that. So kids were learning and creating and building, and it just went from there. Look at what we're doing today. We're doing Lego Creator Speed Champions, all the way down to these fine detailed cars. So they put their first city out. It was called Lego Systems. And the Systems hit the shelves everywhere, from boys to girls to hours of being able to play, to pretend, to creativity. So not only did they sell in just his country, they started selling in multiple countries. Now, of course, there was this one obstacle they came across. You get your monument built up, but you couldn't move it. You go to pick it up and move it, and it was just all tumbled. So back to the drawing board, Godfrey went. Now, Godfrey was facing all these by himself by now, because, of course, Ole, by this year, 1954, I think it was, Ole had passed. So Godfrey has been pretty much on his own ever since. And back to the drawing board for the bricks. So he starts getting the bricks together of how can I create these so they can actually stick together and be able to move them around, and he comes up with a great pattern. And by the time this happens, what happens again? Another fire happens to Lego. The industry burns to the ground. Godfrey says, you know what? I have to make a decision here. Do I want to stick with the toys, or do I want to stick with just the Lego bricks? So he decided, you know what, it's a shot in the dark. I'm going to go with just sticking with the bricks. And it was probably the best decision he made to this day. Only because Legos is still pushing out for him today. We do miss some of the toys that were let go back in those days. They are highly collectible. You're hard to find, but they are out there and you can get your hands on them, but not as easy to obtain as Legos. Legos all the way up to Lego's Techniques, Lego Speed Champions, Lego Cities. They just touched everything from franchises from Simpsons to the Flintstones to Star Wars, which is a huge franchise. I mean, you now have Lego Stories, Legos Ninjagos, Lego Bionicles. I mean, Legos has just went all over the world from there. And all over the place. You couldn't stop them. To the point that now, Lego has decided, we need to make it so we can make Legos global. How can we do this? So Godfrey put an airport in Gullin. Gullin Airport is what it is called. And it is still there today, so he can be able to put all of his toys everywhere, all over the world. Now, when he created this airport, it got so popular that people were visiting this airport so much that even the co-workers couldn't even use the facilities anymore. So Godfrey was like, what am I going to do here? I got to create something so that I can keep my airport but still have all the tourists come and visit. So what does he do? He creates Legoland. Got the idea with the gentleman who came in to drop off the new Lego toy train while it was in the middle of this epiphany of what to create for all these people to have an area to be able to visit while his employees can still use the facilities and be able to still work at the airport. The training idea got dropped and boom, everything clicked and went from the train to transport to different buildings to high towers to his brain just exploded with Legoland. And to this day we got multiple Lego lands all over the place, and we have Lego cities. I would like to thank Lego TV Lego Club for all the info that I created. You guys were great help for the history that I've been able to spit out to these guys. I'd like to thank you guys for sticking around with me and listening to me babble on about the history before we opened up this bad boy. So, with everything being said, let's get right into this thing. Start opening it up. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Stickers, look at those stickers. Here, let's get the zoom in for you guys. Well, that's it, guys, I guess. I mean, that's the fuel tank, short in a nutshell. That's the car in a nutshell. Give you guys a nice close-up view in a second here. But I just wanted to say thanks for sticking around with Toy Box Talk and hanging out with me while we did this Lego build and listening to a little Lego history with me. So, thanks. Stick around for the next one. See you guys soon. Very much for sticking around with Toy Box Talk today. I hope that you guys liked today's segment, and if you did, make sure you hit the like. Don't forget to share with your friends, and definitely, if you like everything that's going on and you want to see more that's coming out, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notifications, turn them on, because I'm putting up content every week, every day of the week. Never know. So every time I pop something up, that notification will jingle for you, and you can come and check out the new stuff. Hey, thanks again, you guys.